If we want to get into the best shape of our lives, do we really need to spend hours on this, or this? Well, last year, I managed to lose 6.2 kgs in just 35 days without spending a single minute on a treadmill. So to help you get in shape without having to spend hours staring at this, here's everything I did from mindset to diet. To help you understand the importance of getting your mindset right, I want to share this study I found. Back in the 1950s, a scientist named Dr. Kurt Richter ran an experiment where he put rats in water to see how long they could swim. At first, most of the rats would just give up and drown minutes into the experiment. But when he pulled them out, dried them off, let them rest, and then put them back in the water, they'd end up swimming for hours, sometimes even days. The moral of the story is if there's a glimmer of hope or a light at the end of the tunnel, you can endure far longer than you think. And that's why you need to start with an end goal in mind. For me, I knew I could do a month of feeling hungry and having low energy because I had this big reward at the end. And if you want to take this weight loss thing seriously, you can't just cut out all your comfort foods and start exercising without at least having an end goal in mind. Otherwise, your brain's going to think, wait, we're supposed to do this forever now? Fuck that. So either set a date where it's a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or my personal favorite, set a number on the scales that you want to reach. If you're currently 200 pounds, aim to reach 190 pounds and then give yourself the option to have a rest. At least then you know there's an end goal coming up. And hey, the chances are you'll probably get to 190 and think, I could probably push to 185. So with a bulletproof mindset in place, you're already most of the way there. But obviously, mindset alone isn't enough. We need to take action. The problem is most guys will jump straight into a diet and exercise routine without first building a solid foundation to hold those changes. Mindset is one part of that foundation, healthy habits is the other part. But instead of overwhelming you with 10 to 15 different habits to choose from, or worse, expecting you to do them all and just get crushed by the sheer amount of change, there's only one habit that I credit all of my success to that I think if you did makes all other habits irrelevant. And that's going to bed on time. Let me explain. Every part of your day is like falling dominoes. How you start the morning is going to shape your afternoon, which is going to set the tone for your evening and ultimately affect the following day. If you don't go to bed on time, you're going to wake up tired, and that tiredness is going to trigger cravings like having more food or more caffeine to get you started, which is only going to result in having a bigger crash come the afternoon, which is ultimately going to make it harder to stick to your diet or have the energy to get in for that exercise routine. But if you go to bed on time, everything changes. You wake up feeling refreshed with the mental clarity to make better choices, whether that's sticking to your diet or getting to that workout. This one habit creates momentum, and momentum makes everything easier. Suddenly the day starts working for you, not against you. So with the mindset and habit changes giving you a solid foundation, let's finally talk about diet and exercise. But here's the thing. I could give you everything I did and say, here you go, good luck. And yeah, it might help for a few weeks, but this channel isn't about helping guys lose the weight for a weekend. It's about cutting the gut for good. So don't worry, I will still share my exact diet and workout plan at the end of this video, but I'd rather share why I did certain things so you can gain an understanding of the key principles behind diet and exercise and actually leave this video with the tools to make your own decisions. Doesn't that sound 10 times better? Most guys believe it's exercise itself that's burning the fat, and they'll spend hours slogging it away on the treadmill thinking it's doing something. But exercise actually does very little to burn fat. So let me go and grab the perfect visual representation so you can understand this fully. Now, as you might know, the only thing that matters around losing weight is energy balance, otherwise known as calories in, calories out. So I've got this, obviously, real money here to help you understand. So I want you to imagine this big pile of money on my left here is your excess weight. Just like how a bank balance works, every time you've got some extra calories left over from the day, it gets stored in your bank. On the other side, you've got a daily budget. This is otherwise known as your maintenance calories for the day. So for this example, our maintenance calories is going to be 2,000. That's the amount of calories you can consume every day without gaining or losing weight. So let's say, for example, you decide to eat 300 calories over your maintenance. At the end of the day, those 300 calories are going to get stored in your bank for later use, or in the real world as excess fat. If instead you eat 300 calories less than the 2000, then all of a sudden you now have to take 300 out of your stored fat, your bank balance, to make up for that deficit. So hopefully that's pretty easy to understand. So when you exercise, it can feel like you're burning a ton of calories just because of how grueling it feels. But in reality, the most amount of calories you'll burn from, let's say, a 30-minute run is probably only around 200. And even worse, your body's pretty smart. It knows you've burnt those extra calories, and it will likely make you feel hungrier throughout the day, pushing you to eat more food. This is what's called in the science world metabolic adaptation. In the real world, it simply just looks like you having 1 or 2 extra biscuits. It could be such a small amount of additional food that it seems almost insignificant, but it could reverse that entire 30-minute run. So you might be wondering, why even exercise then? Throughout my time of working alongside guys and helping them get in shape, the biggest benefit I found when it came to exercise actually isn't the exercise itself, it's the accountability that it gives you around dieting. How many times have you done a workout or finished a run and you kick back that night about to reach into the pantry for a sweet treat, and then you think to yourself, ooh, I did do a pretty good run today and I don't really want to throw that out the window. Ask anyone that's in shape and they'll tell you they started with exercise and then eventually decided to start tweaking their diet. Let's be honest, nobody eats a salad and then jumps up from their chair in excitement and celebration, but they will hit their first push-up or set a new PR on the bench press and they'll be buzzing. That feeling is electric. So here's what I want you to understand about exercise. What you do specifically doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's intentional, trackable, and somewhat enjoyable. Intentional, meaning you've planned to go at a specific time and you've gone. Trackable, meaning you can have numbers of progression and then week by week or day by day, you can try and beat those numbers. And enjoyable as in you can at least endure doing it 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week. Obviously, I am ignoring the other massive benefits of exercise, such as muscle growth and improved lung and heart conditions. But because the focus is mainly just losing weight, we're not going to dive too much into it. So for exercise, what I recommend you start is either a bodyweight workout at home, a workout at the gym, or even just tracking your daily step count and trying to hit a certain number. If you decide to work out, anywhere from 2 to 4 workouts a week for about 30 minutes is going to give you some crazy results. My specific training routine was doing 5 to 6 workouts a week for about an hour doing a traditional muscle building split. If you want to grab my exact workout program with the exercises and some video guides included, it's in the description below along with my entire meal plan. You'll get it in the first email. If you've invested time into the 3 previous points, getting your mindset right, getting to bed on time and having some sort of structured exercise regime, sorting out your diet is honestly going to be a cakewalk. But there is one misconception around dieting that needs to be addressed because it probably will trip you up. The big problem is most guys think they need to go super clean eating and they end up sticking to protein shakes for breakfast, lunch and dinner. But honestly, you can still lose weight eating burgers and chips. Let's go back to the money. You've got 2,000 calories as maintenance, and a good weight loss deficit is anywhere between being 400 and 1,000 calories under. So that gives you around 1,000 to 1,500 to play with. Now that doesn't mean you have to stick to eating lettuce and fruit. You can still have a burger and some chips for 800 calories, and then just before bed, have a nice smoothie for 600 calories, and you're golden. The big key idea is you want to choose foods that'll keep you full for the least amount of calories spent. Junk food's terrible for weight loss, not because it has some super secret chemical that keeps you fat. It might do, but it's mainly because it just has terrible return for your calories spent. One tiny McDonald's burger is like 400 calories. And I know if you're watching this, a McDonald's burger is like hardly a warm-up for the main meal. So what do I recommend you do to make dieting unbelievably easy? Stick to the 3 or 4 meals you enjoy the most until you hit that designated goal. If you stick to the same base foundation of food, you can change the flavors up to keep things interesting without getting confused on how much calories you're eating. Oatmeal with peanut butter and cocoa powder, oatmeal with apple and cinnamon, oatmeal as a smoothie with berries. All the same macros, but almost entirely different meals. With everything we've covered today in place, you're going to be able to lose some serious weight without having to spend a single minute on the treadmill. That is, only if you're not making these massive weight loss mistakes that I cover in this video right here. You might want to check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you later, gents.